Hey peeps, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This is the new whip. Picked up another CRV RD1. Hey peeps, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Figure I'd do a little update with you guys. This engine bay is dirty. I started to scrape some shit off here. You can see it really needs a good cleanup. I got to do a head job on this B20. So before I even start to take it apart, I'm going to clean it because there is shit everywhere. Might be getting a VTEC head to throw on here, I'm not sure. Cylinder number 4 has no compression, so I think I have a valve problem. So I got to get in there and do it. But it's a new whip, RD1 or RD2, seeing it's the last year of the CRV and the first gen. Front end was fucked up. Figured all that out. I went to Kenny U-Pull, which is like a local junkyard, and got all the parts, sourced it out. It was $100. It's not perfect. You can see, like, you know, the spacing here. You know, it's not perfect, but this is $1,000 car. It just needs a little head job that I can do myself. A few $100 there, and should be good to go for a while. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this engine bay because it's fucking disgusting. I think I'm going to remove the air box to give me some more area to clean down there. There's a lot of sand and shit. And remove the battery so I can get in there as well. I'm not too worried about water getting too much into the sensors because, first of all, there's no battery, and second, it won't be running for a couple weeks, so it's going to have time to dry out. So let me get shit set up, and I'll be back in a minute. Peeps.
Traffic.
I got my super neighbor here. He's helping me out. He always loves to watch my stuff. So I used the gunk gel super cleaner, sprayed down everything, and it's been soaking for about 5 minutes. I'll give it another 10-15, but it's going to look much better to work on after. Alright, internet people, I'm out of here. Alright, I can actually see something. I got to do a head job on this. I couldn't even see the bolts on the exhaust manifold down there. There was so much shit. I got the motor code. It's a B20B. Do not think this is an import block. The guy that had it said it was a JDM motor. I don't think so. I just think it was a... Well, it might be because it looks like it has a bypass to the crank position sensor here going on. I don't know what the hell is going on here, but I'll figure that out. They bypassed it, and it goes to a plug here, and this guy here is not even screwed in. It's kind of weird the way it's placed. Might have to figure that out, but I need to remove the head. I need to order a new head gasket, and probably a manifold gasket, because if I take it off, it's not going to be good anymore. Or, I mean, if I'm going to go there, I might as well do it. And at the same time, well, it doesn't look too bad. Cleaned up pretty good. I mean, not perfect. I didn't get too far down in there, but I just wanted to clean the area where I'm going to be working, really. We're going to have to empty all the press stone out of this and start removing some hoses. A distributor cap needs to come off. Fuel rail, fuel injectors need to be unplugged so I can move all that stuff to the side. And you don't need to take the intake plenum off, that comes with the head, but the exhaust manifold, because it goes down under the car, obviously you need to unbolt that. But cylinder number 4 has no compression. The rest are doing 150 even, so that's pretty good. Probably just needs a new valve to be seated in there. I don't know what's up with that, but I guess we'll start by taking the head off and bringing it to the local shop and see if they told me they had spare valves for it. It's a Hontech shop, you know, they specialize in that. Oh, shit, like so weirdly placed on this thing. But yeah, I think I'll get wrenching, and when I'm done I can just throw a bag over it or whatever, and I might need some new ARP bolts or something, new head bolts. See where I can get those and the head gasket at the same time and all that. But cool. Let's I guess I'm gonna start taking some shit apart. Alright peeps, I kind of jumped the gun by removing the valve cover, but you know, everyone's anxious to see what's under the skirt, right? But pretty much getting close to, well, yeah, like I said, I don't know if I said it in my previous video, on cylinder number 4, you always go number 1 is the closest to the timing belt, out number 4. I got a valve or two that isn't seating right, so I got no compression. This is where I'm trying to get to, so I got to remove the head, but everything is unplugged. The throttle cable, the sensors, there's a few, there's maybe 4 or 5, the fuel rail, the injectors, all that's been moved to the side. Airbox is off to give me more room to work. Right now, the last thing I'm probably going to do is jack up the CRV, take the driver's side wheel off so I can get a wrench on there and find top dead center, and then I'll be good to slide the belt off and get things going. It's going to be a cheap, easy fix. Not the best way to go about it, but I need this thing running. I just bought it and it doesn't run, so it's kind of like, you know, décevant is what you're saying. Disappointing. Thank you, my love. So a little bit of work. I drained the fluids. There's no more Prestone. Anyways, it was in green. I'm going to put some blue in there. That goes in there. I'm going to do an oil change. I need a head gasket. I'm going to clean up where these grommets sit. I was getting a little bit of oil going into the spark plug area because of this. I'm going to change those up. I have a new gasket coming for the valve itself. I think maybe it comes with those. I'm not sure. But once I find top dead center, I'll be able to remove the cams, the dizzy. Once the cams are off, I'll make sure to keep these placed the same way, probably in a piece of cardboard, so I'll know exactly where they were, because they've seated well with the bearings that are there, so you don't want to mix that up. They've, you know, they're comfortable where they are. And move the cap here, the cap here, the cap here, and the cap here. I'll have to get some copper coat for the gaskets and some gray RTV, and we'll be ready to rebuild this bitch, I guess. Alright guys, slowly but surely I'll get this thing running. I was running on 3 cylinders and it just decided to die, but I got a whole bunch of stuff coming for it, so I might as well just fix this engine instead of swapping it out. Or swapping the head. You always gotta make noise, guy, when you're there. I was gonna put a VTEC head on it, but I just want to get it running and see how the rest is, and once I assessed all that, maybe down the road. But this isn't a power wagon. I got my EP over there. I don't know if you can see it past the van, but that's my little power horse to get around if I want to go quick. This isn't quick. CRVs are not quick. A little bit quicker because this one's got a 5-speed stick shift. This will, you know, help me out a bit, but a little rough. I got the doors to clean up a bit, and you know, I'm gonna put maybe an 1.5-inch lift, 40mm lift on it with some BF Goodwrench all-terrain K2Os, because it needs new tires anyways. These are pretty bald, so it will look pretty good. I got the roof rack on there. I'll probably get a basket and go from there, I guess. But let's just get this thing running. All right, guys, I'm out. All right, peeps. Progress has been made. The head is now off. I'm pretty sure that this is a JDM block because there's a lot of US Canadian plugs that are not plugged in. And I had a funky wire. It's not here right now. It's still on the head, or it's in the trunk on another piece. It's like a bypass to the crankshaft position sensor, so Japanese don't have that, so pretty sure this is a JDM block. I don't know how many miles are on it, but this was the piston that was giving me trouble. With a visual inspection, I don't really see any chips or damage, or even on the wall it looks pretty much even, so that's pretty much good to go. The head gasket wasn't leaking. It did its job. It was really a valve problem, like I suspected, with no compression. I'll bring you over. Look at the oil on the ground. Here's the head. It's now off. You want to grab that stem right there and lift up with me. Just be careful there. I'll show you guys the valve that was giving me trouble. There it is. No compression in this cylinder at all. So The rest look okay. This one looks a little funky. I'll have him replace that one at the same time. I don't know what's up with that color. I think it's starting to rot out like this one. But the rest look okay. The surface looks alright. I'll have to clean it up. Oil's dripping out still again. The biggest bitch was these bolts here. I had to go underneath the CRV to remove the head, and we were like, what the hell? It's still hooked. I had a few sensors I forgot to take out, mainly on the throttle body. There's a sensor here and one back here I didn't see, and there was a small vacuum hose that went here. But besides that, everything went pretty well. I mean, I know what the problem is. I'm going to get it fixed. Take my time rebuilding it the right way. I'm going to have to get a feeler gauge for the cams and the valves there. I think it's 0.50 or something like that, with a little bit of drag in between. Not that hard to adjust. It takes time to do it. But super stoked. Here's the head gasket. I don't know if you guys can see very well. But there was no leaking anywhere. Pretty gummy, but we got it. Yeah, good thing that wasn't an important part, girls. Girls will be girls, eh? Said, I'm sorry, Uncle Paul, or I'm sorry, Paul, or whatever. Just, you know, or sorry. Or sorry, Dad. Let's just laugh. But, yeah, everything went well. I'm happy Sam was here to help me. And, I rebuilt the front end. This was all crunched in. Both lights were broke. The bumper absorber was all crushed in. I had to change that out. But everything looks pretty good. Brake lines look all good. You know, get this thing running. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. All right, guys, I'm out.